I found it fast. I found the riders very smooth, very good. Compared to the U.S., it's a whole nother world here.
Shafted today.
Sure, that's part of the game, but I'm still upset.
Cycle racing is only for the fit. Multiple stage racing in particular is for the athlete with guts, determination, a will to win, and muscles as highly tuned as a thoroughbred. 85 such riders from 6 countries set off from the GPO in Dublin to ride 750 torturous miles in the 1973 Rally Dunlop Tour of Ireland. Facing them were mountains and valleys in 8 days of stamina-sapping competition. The 95-mile trip to Carrick-on-Shannon was Stage 1, and the race for that yellow jersey was on. Some 3 hours and 20 minutes after the start at Dublin, the first riders raced into Carrick-on-Shannon. They were Paul Corbett of Birmingham and Sandy Gilchrist of Scotland. They broke away from an 11-man group 10 miles out and crossed the line some 50 seconds ahead of such notable riders as Sean Lally and Liam Horner from the All-Ireland regional team. At the line, it was Corbett who had edged in front. The second group was led by Lally with Horner fourth, but none of the big guns like the Dutch and French riders ventured out of the bunch during the stay. A bus ride next morning brought the bikemen to the start of Stage 2 at Donegal Town, and after the formalities of giving the yellow jersey to the 26-year-old Paul Corbett, they were off again on the 85 miles mountainous ride to Buncrana. the day, there were several breaks. However, the strength of the Kirkby-Liverpool team was shown when Doug Daly and John Clewett were able to break clear away over the closing miles. But they were by no means free from problems. Doug Daly, for instance. Texan John Howard tried desperately to close the gap on the English internationals. This was the first indication of how strong a rider he really was. For the first time ever in a stage race in Ireland, an American rider was taken seriously. However, the stage win rested between Daly and Clewett. Despite John Clewett's final sprint for the stage win, it was Sandy Gilchrist who carried the race leader's jersey for day 3. His second place on Sunday and a good steady ride in stage 2 put him over a minute ahead of Daly on general classification. Clewett jumped from 50th to 11th overall. But today was the back-breaking trip around the Inishowen Peninsula, including the infamous Gap of Mamore. This would test the strength and stamina of the riders. This could be the stage to separate the strong from the not-so-strong. 85 miles and a blazing sun before them. This was it, the Gap of Mamore, with an 800-foot rise in less than a mile. 10 riders were in the break, but before the summit there was agony and pain. Over the top and into Buncrana first came John Clewett. His was a tremendous effort, leaving him 50 seconds up on the Birmingham duo of Howard Darby and Paul Corbett. But the Gap of Mamore had taken its toll of even the fittest. Stewart was now the race leader with Derby second, and the Kirkby-Liverpool team had 4 riders in the first 10, so they were easy leaders of the regional class from Holland, Birmingham and the north of England. The All-Ireland team were next in line, a disappointing 5th. Today, Wednesday, the run was an 80-miler to Bundoran, and there were more incidents to record. Dave Bowes of Kirkby winning that stage, but part of a chasing group came down in the last corner, and as a result, 2 of the top riders in the race were out with injuries, Davy Kane of Ireland and Gilchrist of Scotland. Others were suffering from the effects of the oppressive heat. Next morning, a new situation arose before they set out on stage 6, the 95 miles to Athlone. It was raining, but there are ways to deal with that also. As far as the race was concerned, we had 2 yellow jersey wearers. Howard Derby and John Clewett were tying for the lead, an unprecedented position in a stage race in these islands. But there are many miles of road ahead for the riders and the service crew.
You have a great chance of getting this stage, so keep it going now. You can only go down to the stand. Don't take any chances. You know yourself. Once you don't panic, you're okay. Don't panic. That's our 10th puncture today. We usually only have about 8.
Been some terrible punctures today. The weather has been the first day's rain for some time in Ireland, and the sudden drying out of the roads and a bad stretch of loose chippings brought about 12 or 15 punctures. All the service cars have been very busy, and it's very difficult on a race like this to get through to the riders.
Go on, go on. Go on, oil pal.
The race, the Tour of Ireland, is now catching up very quickly with other top international races throughout the world. And although many of them enjoy the facilities of a completely closed road, not all the tours do, and the Tour of Britain Milk Race is one of these.
Keep left riders, keep left riders.
But it's a very difficult race today. The wind is very, very strong, and it's blowing onto the riders' left shoulders and keeping them across the road. And they're finding it very hard indeed now to hold on to that wheel in front. It's all effort now.
Pull in. And just pull in. There's millions of cars. You'll have no problem getting on, and you have a good chance. Now, come on. Come on. You're all right.
There are the 2 riders. Go forward, Jim. Can you go forward? Number 75. You haven't punctured, you must have some other trouble.
No, don't panic. This is your second one today. It's hard enough. You probably get into the cars now. Take it easy in the cars and you get up okay. Don't panic. Watch this wheel now. It'll be okay. Just watch your sprockets and the chain doesn't come off between your gears and your... Okay, go ahead, Joe. Once you're in the cars, and all the best of the stage now. I hope you do well.
John Howard took the stage into Athlone to become the first American ever to score such a win in Ireland. The yellow jersey situation was still unresolved, with Clewett and Derby still joint leaders as they headed to Carrick-on-Suir on the Friday. Miles to be covered, 113.
Got a couple of handy sprinters here. Sit it on. With this lot here. What a lot of swingers. Pardon? No, they've no courage.
Who's the worst? Who's the big?
Pardon?
Who's the big?
Me.
Why?
If I wasn't here, they'd wear.
Doug Daly was the man they were watching because this group was over 3 minutes up on the bunch and he could become the race leader. However, over the last few hundred yards, Daly let the others fight it out between themselves, and Deckers of Holland got the verdict from yet another Kirkby man, Alan Fairhurst. On the Friday evening, the riders were in the Carrick-on-Suir Convent School, where the Sisters of Mercy saw to it that the bikemen enjoyed some of the best food of the week. Doug Daly was now the clear race leader by 1 minute and 23 seconds from the Texan John Howard, with the Dutchman Matthew Bucks third. The English rider was showing the qualities that rates him as the top amateur in the world. Could he hold the yellow jersey over stage 8 to Arklow? Yet another 97 miles through Waterford, Wexford and New Rock. There was plenty of fight left in the American and Irish riders. Bill Humphreys of New York was in a three-man break, but he had his problems with Paddy Doran and Harry Dawson of Dublin. He tells the story himself.
John Howard told me to go to the front. I was a team move. They were already away in Wexford. And John said, go to the front. Let's get these Kirkby guys chasing. So I said, okay. So I jumped and nobody chased. And I chased and I chased for a long time. I finally caught the two of them, and then the three of us worked together, and then it was just, it seemed like I was pulling an awful lot, and one had come through, and I'd come in second. Never both of them would come through. See, it wasn't a complete rotation. Well, I was waiting for him to come by me, you know. I felt good, but I just couldn't get behind him. They used their tactics right. I let it out. They were in the best position. I couldn't, every time I slowed down, they'd stay right behind me. You know, it was a smart move by them.
Playing tactics to an advanced stage, Paddy Doran won the sprint, but Bill Humphries was left to take third behind Brame and Harry Dawson, but the American had hoped to do better.
I told him, I said, geez, you guys fed from the car. You know, I said, I'm doing all the work. You're going to get a 10-minute penalty anyway, feeding from the car. Why not let me take the stage win when I've done all the work anyway, you know? But they wanted to win, so they won. This is their country. I don't blame them. I'd have done the same thing, really.
With Doug Daly still with the race leader's jersey, Sunday took the 75 remaining riders to Dublin over the testing Sally Gap. Again, the weather was unkind, but rain or shine, the wheels kept turning. Peter Doyle of the All-Ireland team had a runaway stage win, and in fact 3 Irishmen, Liam Horner, Martin Wall and Pat Norton, followed him home, while back in the bunch the Kirkby Liverpool team protected the yellow jersey for Daly. Even though Dave Beattie took the 30-mile circuit race later in the afternoon, Daly had little trouble running out the winner of this marathon race for the second time. His last success was in 1971. But that third place for John Howard, the office clerk from Houston in Texas, indicates that from that quarter may come a cycling challenge in the future. John Cleward showed why he was chosen for the British team in the World Championships. And as far as the Kirkby team was concerned, they put up a tactical performance directed by their manager John Percy that should be an example to many stage riders. Doug Daly was captain of that team, and he played a captain's part. His second win in the Rally Dunlop Tour is only part of a success story that spans his 13 years in cycling.